4 grown men.
Let me grab my phone. I'm gonna need my phone out of my front pocket. So let me grab that before I got a note.
5 grown men now touching you.
I'm sorry.
I don't know who Mike is, but it's killing our caller, so.
I don't remember. Could have been mine. Is that comfortable?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
We're gonna test 1 2 test 1 2. Can you hear me? Test 1 2. Right here. Mr. Quinn, can you give us just a mic check, like count to 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My name is Captain Jeremy Queen, Transylvania County Sheriff's Office. Are we good? You tell me. Everybody tell me when they're ready, and everybody else seem like they're good. All right. Well, good afternoon. I appreciate your patience. And I know we had to move up an hour here for the time together for the media, and so I do appreciate your patience in working with me this afternoon as we're getting some new information as we go along throughout the evening. Operations are still ongoing. As I just left the command center a few minutes ago, a new operations plan was being made for another deployment of personnel into the woods, and so I know, as you all know right now, it's a very hot part of the afternoon, and so having some difficulty there with the weather. As the teams are wearing all their gear and trying to manipulate themselves through the woods with their equipment, it's proven to be very difficult in the hottest part of the day today. So we are trying to make sure everybody's well hydrated and taken care of. A couple of things from this morning. First of all, I want to make a clarification. We had been reporting throughout the incident that the original call was from a message that was sent to us by the Henderson County Sheriff's Office in regards to a breaking and entering. And although the vehicle of the current suspect did match the description, it did not. We have not yet established a positive connection between that particular breaking and entering in Mills River with this current suspect, Mr. Philip Michael Stroop II. So that investigation is ongoing. And so, but there has not been a positive link. There is, we don't know, cannot deny, cannot confirm one way or another that he had a part of that. But as of right now, there is no positive link in that particular investigation. One of the developments that we also had this morning that I wanted to update you on is there was a related arrest made. You've heard me throughout the event, throughout the incident, talk about people trying to help the suspect escape and get out of the woods. So earlier today, an arrest was made of a family member of the suspect, and she was arrested for resist, obstruct, and delay. Let me pull that back up. If you'll bear with me, I'm sorry. The name on that, Norma Stroop Goforth, age 62, of Lester, North Carolina, was arrested earlier today for one count of resist, obstruct, and delay for failing to leave the investigation perimeter after a lawful order and multiple warnings from law enforcement to leave the scene. She's placed in our jail in in Transylvania County under a $1,000 secured bond. And so one of the things that might indicate to us is that, in fact, the suspect is still in the area and still within the perimeter. And so that's an indication there that he is still among us and still actively trying to get out, still actively looking for help at this particular time. So as far as other updates from this morning, that's our two main ones that we wanted to focus upon. So I will open it up for questions right now.
So you no longer believe he's, Captain, you no longer believe he's part of the break-in that happened in Henderson County?
Well,
what about the kidnapping?
Well, the kidnapping, he has an outstanding warrant for kidnapping in Buncombe County, and so that is definitely an open warrant right now. So that's my guess is that's probably the likely reason he was trying to escape, knowing that he had that outstanding warrant. But there's no positive link right now in that breaking and entering that was originally being investigated on. But we can't speak a whole lot to that because that's an ongoing open investigation. Justin?
Do you think that
Justin?
Go for it. Can you spell her name?
Sure.
Relation to him, and what she had to say when you guys did make that arrest.
Norma, Norma Stroop, Stroupe, last name Goforth, Goforth, 62 of Leicester, North Carolina. And she is the aunt of the suspect. The suspect's father's sister.
And did she say anything when she was about him, about Stroop, or anything along those lines?
That's part of the ongoing investigation that we're dealing with right now. So I'm not gonna go into any details currently, based on trying to get some intelligence from her.
So she was arrested because she didn't leave the area?
Yeah, she was given multiple warnings to leave the perimeter, leave the area, and was arrested for resist, obstruct, and delay.
Did she tell you why she didn't want to leave the premises?
Not really. Not really. And so again, I'm not gonna go into any real details about what she said and what she didn't say, due to the ongoing nature of the incident, because we're not sure. I don't think that the suspect still has communication, still has an active cell phone. It's more likely than not that if he does have a cell phone, the battery has died on that cell phone. So, but we don't know for sure one way or another if he's getting intelligence update, whether it's from us or social media or friends and family or anybody like that. So I'm gonna try to be real careful about what was said and what wasn't said during that incident, just so we can maintain the integrity of the investigation.
So this is his aunt that was arrested?
Yes, ma'am.
And where did she live approximately up there? Like in the middle of the search area, or in regards to the search area that you're looking through, where is her home?
Where's her home? She lives in Leicester, that's in Buncombe County.
Leicester. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
somewhere near here.
Right.
And just,
The locals call it Leicester. Some folks say Leicester, but the locals call it Leicester, North Carolina.
and did she was he released from jail recently or anything before all this?
I understand he was released from the Yancey County Jail earlier in the week, last week. I believe Thursday morning, if memory serves me correctly.
I just wondering if you could talk logistics, such a wide search area. Are y'all starting at the outside, moving in, focusing on certain areas?
Well, what we've done is set up a perimeter, and then we have teams with boots on the ground going in on foot, actively searching, and we're trying to, as I said before, trying to work out the logistics of those as far as hydration and rest, and keeping those folks going with equipment and resources. And so I think we're about to we're in the process now of deploying another team here, probably in the next few minutes, if not a few hours.
How many people are involved in the search?
Total, we've got many law enforcement officers working together. Several agencies are helping us out, and I'll reiterate it. I've said it several times, and I hope people are well aware how much we appreciate all the help that we are getting from fellow law enforcement, local law enforcement agencies throughout Western North Carolina. So as of right now, we're thinking my best estimate is we got about about 40 or so officers actively working between the perimeter and also active search teams inside that perimeter.
Where exactly was the arrest made inside the building?
It's just up on Highway 276.
Is that the Yellow Gap area, or is that the...
Yes, just out. Yeah.
And then as far as, have you been able to find any more tracks or any other clues that might show where he is in the forest?
They're actively working on that. They've got a couple of dogs in there working right now, and I just heard at the command center some of those dogs are getting pretty tired, and they're gonna have to rest those dogs. And I mentioned earlier this morning, dogs have to have rest just like human beings, but their instincts tell them to keep working and keep going and keep going. That dog's going to do what that handler tells it to do, and it will do it until it really exhausts itself. And if you're not careful, you'll injure that dog. And so you got to be real careful about that. They got to have it's hot. It's very hot up there in that thick foliage, and so got to be careful with the dogs as well. So doing the best we can. Hopefully get some fresh dogs on the way as well very, very soon.
We've heard reports that there's when the campers were evacuated, there's a bunch of gear left behind. Is there any plan, I guess, to help folks recover that gear, or any worries that Mr. Stroop might use that?
Yes, there has been some items and some gear left behind, and so that is of concern. One of our issues is manpower. Trying to get some folk. We're obviously actively trying to apprehend the suspect as a priority, and so a lot of those campsites are out of the perimeter where we think he still is. But of course, trying to secure those and trying to get that, whether it's a change of clothes, whether it's some food, whether it's some water, the less resources he has, hopefully, the more likely he is to give himself up when he gets too tired or gets dehydrated, gets too hungry. And so if we can do that, it'll be a big help. So we're having a difficult time doing that, trying to search, maintain the perimeter, and then escorting people to get their belongings out. Yeah, well, we're trying. We're trying to. We're having a hard time. We just don't want to send anybody in there by themselves without a law enforcement escort. Just, this guy's armed and dangerous. We want to be, that public safety is our number one priority. Unfortunately, this is the nature of the beast that we're dealing with, and so hopefully he won't get his hands on anything he shouldn't. There's going to be some stuff up there that's gotten wet, and that's unfortunate and terrible. That this guy has cost this kind of resources and manpower and money, but we're going to keep doing the best we can, and so we're continue actively working. Justin.
Keep going back to normal go for it. So the arrest was made today. Just
Yes.
Roughly what time?
This is before noon this morning.
Before noon.
Mm-hmm.
This is, you guys have been in there since Saturday.
That's correct.
Do you know how long she's been in there? Did she leave and then go in?
I think she's been around back and forth. We had talked to her previously, actually, and so we've talked to her through a liaison, and gotten different information and things like that. Again, I'm not going to go into a great amount of detail, not to give away too much, and I'm sorry about that. I just don't want to. I just like to say I want to maintain the integrity of our ongoing investigation.
Do you at least believe though that she has been helping him to some degree?
Well, I can't say with absolute certainty that she's been trying to actively help him escape and get out of the forest and things like that. I think it's very reasonable to make that inference, though. 2 and 2 equals 4.
How far away is Lester?
Buncombe County, it's northwest of Asheville from here, so it'd take you a good 45 minutes, depending on which way you came.
But it is accurate to say that she's suspected of trying to, somehow aiding the suspect.
Well, again, I won't say that with absolute certainty.
But that's what the charge.
I think. Well, the charge was for refusing to leave the perimeter and interfering with, resist, obstruct, and delay with the law enforcement investigation.
Can you say how they had communication with each other? How he had communication with his aunt?
No, I can't. I don't know. I mean, we can make assumptions, but I don't. I mean, the most obvious assumption would be via cell phone, but I can't say. I don't know. But again, after 3 days in that terrain, I can tell you from my own personal travels, just like searching for a signal on a phone and things like that, cell phone is going to die pretty quickly. The battery is going to go down pretty quickly in that instance. So I can't say that his battery is dead, but I think it's likely. So.
When you say refusing to leave the perimeter, or what location are you talking about?
We've established a perimeter around our search site and up on the highway, up on Highway 276, up towards the Parkway. Yes,
okay, so she was
up towards the Parkway on the upper end of the incident scene. She was located, encountered by law enforcement, and given multiple warnings, and after refusing to leave, she was subsequently arrested at that point. Today, yeah.
And then, did they ever find the bike that he took?
No.
At gunpoint?
Not found the bike at this point.
How big is the perimeter and how spaced apart?
I've been asked that question several times, and it's difficult to say as far as a measurement. If you started right now and drove around the entire perimeter from like where we are and drove all the way around back to this location, it could take you well over an hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Okay.
So it's an extensive perimeter.
So the officers are pretty spaced apart.
Yeah.
So there is space for him to slip through.
There is, and that's a manpower issue. As many people as we got helping us, I mean, it's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility.
More people to come in to...
Yes, we are hopefully expecting more people. I think we got some folks on the way from various locations. I'm working on a list of agencies that are assisting us, and hopefully I'm going to get that to you later this evening.
I've heard Gaston County is here. Is that as far away as
Yes,
the others come?
Gaston County. Yeah, I think they are the furthest. Right into the helicopter you've been seeing. We got Highway Patrol has 2 helicopters that helps with these types of incidents and missions, and so this particular one's out of Raleigh. The other one's out of Salisbury, but this one particular one's out of Raleigh.
Do you know what he was in jail for in Yancey County?
I do not know 100% for sure, and I would defer to the Yancey County Sheriff's Office on that. I think I've been told. And I apologize. Some of this stuff is after 3 days, and some of this stuff is starting to run together. So.
What's the plan moving forward? I know you said a new plan is being crafted right now. What's that?
Well, I don't want to go into details on any tactics that we're employing right now. The plan going forward is continue to try to find him. It's as simple as I can give it to you, Justin. We're doing the best that we can with what we got to work with. Still fighting the terrain, yesterday we're fighting the rain. Today we're fighting the heat, and so we're doing as best we can, as quickly as we can, and we appreciate all the help and the support. Now, I want to say this. I may be the only public information officer who has ever had to say this. To our community in Transylvania County and supporting around us, we are so grateful for everything that you're doing for us, for the water, the Gatorade, the snacks, the food. And again, I may be the only person in the country who's had to say this, but can you hold off for a little bit? We're overwhelmed. I mean, that is so awesome that our community is supporting us like they are. I mean, it's humble. I'm getting a little emotional just when I think about it and talk about it, and because it's amazing. It really is amazing how how wonderful this community is. It's an honor to serve these people. It really is. And so thank you so much. Thank you so much for what you're doing. And it's really cool. But give us a couple of days to eat and drink what we got, but hopefully we're going to come to a real soon conclusion on this, and be able to not use that stuff. Maybe give it to a homeless shelter or something like that. But it is so wonderful and so awesome. The support has been overwhelming on social media and just throughout, and I can't believe. Well, I can believe it. I take that back. I can believe it because I've been here a long time, worked here a long time, and this is the best place in the world to work in law enforcement. I'm about to lose my voice here, but talking to you, trying to keep you up to date here. But and I really appreciate you all in the media helping to get our message out, helping us get the information out there to the public, and keeping them updated as well. But it's awesome to see the support. I hate it's under these circumstances that we're having to deal with. I can assure you we're trying to get the forest back into normal operations as quickly as we can, and we're constantly reassessing, making decisions about moving forward and keeping going. As of right now, we're going to keep going, and so your continued thoughts and prayers is greatly appreciated. So.
You've got a couple of businesses that are around here. I know you had a message on Facebook. I apologize to them.
Yeah, I know it's pretty tough on local businesses here, right here at the entrance of the forest, and that depend really on a lot of forest traffic for their business. And so I know it's frustrating to them having to deal with the road being closed and different things like that. The traffic can get overwhelming. And so that's part of the reason we don't have the manpower to deal with the traffic once it gets backed up into that main intersection right there at Highway 280 and 64 and 276. And so we are so sorry, but we appreciate your patience and understanding. People, they've been great. They've been very understanding, and I know it's frustrating, but just bear with us. Please just bear with us. Anything else?
Three, two, one. Authorities say this man, Philip Michael Stroop, may have committed several crimes, including an armed break-in. Witnesses have reported seeing him in the area. Authorities chased Stroop on Saturday, but they tell us he got away, later abandoning a car and stealing a mountain bike.